Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio April 19, 2022. Today's moon transits can stimulate a desire for a getaway or a change of pace. You're more in touch with what you're feeling, and while you're not necessarily telling all, you're a little more forthcoming than usual. Even so, today's Mercury-Saturn minor aspect can point to worry or overstimulation related to money, possessions, and resources. Watch for resistance or blocks, possibly associated with unnecessary self-criticism or pressures on yourself. With this problem mastered, you might find unique ways to combine traditional and progressive methods in your personal ventures. Money-making ideas can be golden now. The house of love is with the energy of Leo, which in disharmony gives you pride and vanity. This inclination gives you many problems to relate to because you always seek to be the center of attention, and it is not easy for many to tolerate you, and even more so in the relationship with your partner. So you have to work on this aspect for the benefit of sentimental life. You should try to give stability to your ever-fluctuating emotions. Spend time with people who keep you grounded, and try to think rationally, logically, and practically. You will discover that the more stable you are, the more love you will receive. Realize that you should not always go out looking for it. Love comes to you naturally. For natives of the sign who have been living as a couple for several years, the situation could take an unexpected turn that will surprise you. You may be led to question the relationship that unites you with the other and to wonder about the follow-up to be given to your story. Above all, don't allow yourself to make a decision you may regret, and take stock of the consequences that rash action could have. This situation will be due to Mercury's unfavorable position against you and could last a few days. Your emotional relationships will be all the better if you know how to curb your impulses and if you don't get carried away at all times. A little serenity and hindsight will do you the greatest good. As a couple, your couple is envious because your complicity is amazing. You do not lack good ideas to bewitch your partner and vice versa. You shine in the eyes of the other. Your relationship as a couple is doing great. You're notorious for going wherever the wind takes you, but today's one of those days where you're being encouraged to remain grounded. After all, it's not every day the moon, celestial ruler of your romantic fifth house of love, passion, and pleasure, joins forces with both of your planetary rulers, Jupiter and Neptune. As if this weren't enough, both of your cosmic rulers are transiting through your sign. However, it's the moon's close proximity to these energies that are prone to triggering confusion, insecurity, and uncertainty. So, whether you're single, crushing, or already taken, today's all about remembering who you are and what you bring to the table. Self-love is key. How do you value your interpersonal group dynamics and relationships? At work, your community can make a world of difference. So, you may have a change of heart when Venus in Pisces squares the North Node in Scorpio. Venus is encouraging you to have a more positive appraisal of a unique group and relationship dynamics. If you accept an atypical view of your partnerships, this will reflect in the fate of the North Node. How you handle certain conversations with or about coworkers could make a huge difference in your work life. Make it count. The moon doesn't just return to your income sector today but begins the lead up to tomorrow's new moon. It was just 10 days ago that the sun turned the solar spotlight onto your income situation, matters, and options, and just 4 days since Mercury returned with the smart head for money needed to get your head in the game. The moon's return is a chance to tie all the different threads together. Intensify contacts to people, because they find you particularly likable right now. Plan your leisure time with family and good friends, and most importantly, make your plans together. You might feel like ringing up an old friend. The time is perfect to revive and strengthen old ties. This will make it easy for you to make new contacts and maybe even lifelong friendships. Do something fun tonight. Scheme to run into you-know-who, and invite them along with you wherever you're headed. Make it seem all casual. Spontaneity is so much better than making plans sometimes. This is not the time to feel sorry for yourself. If you long to find someone to share your life, Give yourself every opportunity to meet someone new. This is not a time for dreaming but to make your dreams a reality. Be courageous, get out and socialize, forget thoughts of past loves and look eagerly to the future. Walking is probably the most underrated exercise because it doesn't require much exertion, and people do it every day. But how much do you actually do it? Do you walk instead of taking the bus whenever possible? Do you think 8 to 10 blocks is too far to walk? There are serious health benefits from walking. It tones your entire body, you can do deep breathing exercises at the same time, and the body naturally aligns itself when you walk with a straight back and an extended chest. If verbal communication doesn't suffice on this day, look to the written word for effective expression. The spoken word can be far easier to misunderstand or to come out wrong. Words can get caught in your throat and leave you at critical times. Writing, however, gives voice to your thoughts without pressure or interaction. It's a clear path to speaking your mind when you're ready. There's time to think before saying. Try this, you'll be surprised at how effective it is. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury in Taurus and the Scorpio moon lend positive and airy vibes to the day, allowing us to chat and analyze our emotions. The moon is in the via combusta degrees of Scorpio, so we could get up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Try not to let your ego get the better of your emotions, and have patience with both yourself and those around you. While we're cosmically set to get an emotional reprieve later in the morning, today might not be an easy day. As the afternoon progresses, the moon begins to form harsh aspects with Venus and Mars. Emotions that we've repressed might begin to affect us, though we won't necessarily have the tools to release them just yet. A cerebral energy could put us in an obsessive headspace, so try not to fall down any social media rabbit holes or stalk your ex online. Thus, energy also gives us the motivation to make money and build security. Unfortunately, the planet of action could meet with some resistance from Saturn. Try not to make any spontaneous or premature financial moves. Take stock of your finances in the coming days and form a plan to resolve any lingering debt you may have. In the early morning, the Scorpio moon trines Mercury in Taurus, supporting sound judgment. Although it is typically difficult to make decisions during the Scorpio moon, justice, liberation, and truth act as conceptual guides. Gray areas take on clear definition. There is an obvious choice if we want to stay in line with our ethics and end up on the right side of history. Although we can make important elections now, this is also a great influence for handling less serious business. Getting together with friends, working on group projects, or doing volunteer work within our communities are all favored. Our perspective can be communicated without ruffling feathers or alienating those who we need to have on our side. Sharing opinions openly and authentically breeds trust and diffuses enmity. Mid-afternoon, the moon opposes Chiron in Aries, triggering events that cause us to feel insecure. We may still be able to communicate our ideas effectively, however, underneath a facade of objectivity, our behavior is being governed by painful recollections of our past. Certain interactions remind us that life isn't always fair. Perhaps we have been slighted in a way that feels unjust. Feeling unworthy or incapable can find us seeking out support, placing pressure on friends or partners to uplift us. In this way, we risk turning our back on own desires to align with others' interests, conceivably to escape persecution. Hiding from our uniqueness only serves to distance ourselves from our intuition. Be mindful that others like us for who we are, not how well we can chameleon ourselves to their agendas.